5 romance book recs for any girl that has ever been told she is too much. I'm talking too opinionated, too emotional, too independent, because these book boyfriends don't give a shit. In fact, they might even prefer it. And for what it's worth, these are some of my all-time favorite romances. Starting with my favorite Annabelle Monaghan book, It's a Love Story. In this book, we have Jane, who is trying to make it as a Hollywood exec, and she has to work with Dan, who is a cinematographer that she doesn't really get along with, to try to get one of her projects greenlit. And while Dan is one of my favorite grumpy book boyfriends ever, I also found Jane to be incredibly relatable because she is so concerned with being perfect in any situation, basically subduing her personality and who she is as a person because she's afraid that she's too much. I love this book so much, and it is a perfect summer beach read. One of the reasons why Love Theoretically is my favorite Ali Hazelwood book is because, yet again, I really resonated with the main female character. Elsie is a physicist trying to get her dream job at MIT, but Jack, who's basically in charge of the department, is a very cold-hearted, grumpy man, seemingly standing in her way. First of all, the yearning and the tension and the slow burn and the spice, all incredible. But Elsie does at times come off as a little too needy, a little too much work, needs a little bit too much reassurance, and Jack always gives it to her. Honestly, probably why he is my favorite book boyfriend. Now we have the Paradise Problem, where at the surface, honestly, our FMC isn't really problematic. She just has the craziest personality of all time, and I have never seen a grumpy book boyfriend handle such a hilarious character as well as Liam does in this book. Anna and Liam were in a fake marriage years ago for housing reasons. Anna thinks the marriage is over, but then randomly Wes shows up and tells her he needs her to pretend to be his wife at his sister's week-long wedding on a tropical island. Hilarious, spicy, classic Christina Lauren. This is such a great summer beach read. Another FMC that I found to be incredibly relatable was Sasha and Beneath. This is a dystopian romance that basically takes place after the end of the world. Sasha lives underground and she has gone through a lot of trauma. She's a complex character with a lot of emotional baggage, and the only person that seems to be able to handle it is Tristan, who is probably one of the hottest book boyfriends of all time. This is dark and gritty, but it's also hopeful. There is an incredible found family, and the romance and the spice was also just top tier. This is part of a 9-book series by Ariel Sullivan, and while I don't think you have to read Conform first, I do recommend it. I love that one too. There is an insane cliffhanger in that book and in this book, and I honestly cannot wait to see what happens in this series. And finally, my favorite Abby Jimenez book, Yours Truly. One of the things I like about this romance is that both main characters do have their own flaws. They are both doctors that work at the same hospital, so this is a workplace romance. And while Jacob deals with a lot of anxiety, which I found to be relatable in its own right, Brianna also has a very complicated life. There's a lot for a romantic partner to have to take on when they enter a relationship with her, and she has what she would probably deem as baggage. The way that Jacob is so patient with Brianna and doesn't make her feel like anything is her fault and just clearly wants to be there for her made me love him so much. Again, another one of my all-time favorite book boyfriends.